All right, welcome, Steve. We are live. So, welcome everyone. We are going to have quite the party today. For those in the room, the camera's up there if you decide to look at it. Otherwise, you can just look wherever you want. So, hello everyone. We are live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube right now. Super excited. I got a bunch of Tech Bridge directors. We got more people on the screen than normal, and that's awesome. That's what we love to do. So, I'm going to go around the room a little bit. And to my left, we've got Sam Chubbs Gray.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sam Chubbs Gray, one of the founding members of Tech Bridge. Started out, did most of the first year as the national director. Whitney Tallarico is across from me and will introduce herself. She and I basically went around the country and found the best places where we could launch this effort. And a lot of those people are going to be joining us here today.
Fantastic. Whitney, you're up.
Well, that made it easy. I'm Whitney Tallarico, and I'm now the National Tech Bridge Director, getting to work with a lot of wonderful people across the regions. I know we have 12 right now. I don't think everyone can make it, but we'll definitely be celebrating. And for everyone's awareness, on the 3rd of this month, it was our first year anniversary. So we are
1 year old, yeah.
But we're a pretty awesome baby.
7 in dog years.
Perfect.
You know the calculus.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So as you all are joining us, we are doing this today. We've been going live recently, last few weeks, but we're doing this one today to kind of highlight Tech Bridge, as you recently had. We might not be broadcasting. Troy says. Can anyone hear us live? Can you send me some comments?
And you still have an intro to do in the room.
We got people. We've got people live. There we go.
Yeah, we got a happy birthday. Thank you, Lindy.
Maybe
Nice,
Troy
thanks.
can't see us.
Who was talking?
Who was talking? There was a number of people talking, Francis. But yeah, so we're here today to celebrate kind of the Tech Bridge year and meet some of the Tech Bridge directors and the resident Tech Bridge grandpa, Rich Carlin over here.
I got the hair for it. It kind of matches the dog.
Nice haircut, by the way.
Rich Carlin. Yeah, I'm with the Office of Naval Research. So great to be here again.
Definitely. You guys talk for a second while I invite Troy.
Easy enough. Yeah, so Rich actually has been one of our biggest partners at the Office of Naval Research, kind of helping back some of our projects going on in different regions and some of the seed funding for whether it's staffing, equipment, a lot of stuff that the Tech Bridges need to succeed, working with the SBIR office, Small Business Innovation Research.
Of course, I had my own purpose. I was just waiting for the space to open up so I could come over here on a regular basis and hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things we like to say is that at Tech Bridges, we don't invent anything. We take what people are already doing and find what can be scaled and go out. And Rich is a perfect example of that. He's been doing a lot of this stuff for years.
My entire career, actually.
Yeah, right. Yeah, years and years. So he's done all these great things. We just took the elements that he had that we thought we could kind of scale and spread across the ecosystem to more warfare centers and labs and academic institutions. So yeah,
Rip off and deploy, even from your friends.
there you go.
There you go.
R&D.
Yep, and on the
I'm gonna pause you real quick, Whitney.
Yeah.
Ann Field, you are on LinkedIn. Why are you not joining us live as a Tech Bridge director?
yeah.
Check your teams. There's a link. We want to bring you in. We just had Rick Tarr join. So thanks for joining us, Rick. We see some folks from up in Rhode Island or Washington, not Washington. Your last name is Washington. I don't know where you are, Shalane. I think you're in Arizona. But if you're out there, listen to us. Let us know you're there so we can invite you to chat. Bring your questions. As if I shut up, these guys will talk for 12 hours.
Yep.
So I will keep stopping them so we can make sure to get your questions answered. So this is really, while this is to highlight Tech Bridges, this is also a chance for you to ask questions. So start firing them away, and I will start inserting them to the conversation. Let's say hi to Rick. Can you hear us out there, Rick? This is his first time using a computer.
Yeah.
That every time.
Yeah, hi, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Glad to be on the broadcast.
For your name.
Yeah.
You want to tell us who you are and what you do, Rick Tarr?
Yeah,
That'd be great.
who am I and what do I do? I'm Rick Tarr. I am at the Naval Air Warfare Center Aircraft Division down in Pax River, Maryland. And I lead up our tech transfer office and our Southern Maryland Tech Bridge. Mainly, as the name might suggest, focused on aviation, things that fly.
Nice. Wow.
Fantastic, Rick. We've also got Troy Clark, who just joined. Looks like he's out for a walk. Troy, are you there?
He's on mute.
All right, we're gonna go to Michael Merriken because I see him ready to go. Michael, what's happening?
Matt, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yourself? Why don't you tell us who you are, Michael, and what tech bridge you represent?
Yes, my name is Michael Merriken. I'm the director for the Palmetto Tech Bridge here in Charleston, South Carolina. The topic areas that we are focusing on this particular tech bridge are cybersecurity, autonomous systems, and advanced communications like 5G.
Fantastic. That's excellent. And who else? We got anyone else that we haven't introduced
yet? Bobby.
Diana, Bobby.
Bobby, Diana, let's say hi.
Steve.
All right, Bobby, go first.
Hey, so Bobby Hanvey, I am down at the Mid-Atlantic Tech Bridge, so Norfolk, Virginia, Hampton Roads area, Virginia Beach, all that stuff. We are took a while to get it because we're tied up with Second Fleet, which is where I belong, and then we have 3 Warfare Center partners. So Dahlgren, Damnick activity down here, Carderock, Norfolk Division, which is a lot of the combatant craft stuff, and NavalX Atlantic, which Michael Merriken is part of their Norfolk detachment. So 3 warfare centers and working to add some more. So trying to connect formally the operational side of the Navy to a lot of what we're doing within the National Tech Bridge Network.
Fantastic. Thank you, Bobby. And Diana, you're up.
Hi, everybody. I am Diana Teal, and I am out of the Central Florida Tech Bridge. I'm the director in Central Florida at NAVTSD, which is the Naval Air Warfare Center Training Systems Division. So that's our area, is modeling, simulation, training, and human performance. We're co-located with what we call Team Orlando. So we have all 4 services co-located, and they're a part of our Tech Bridge with us, in that we have with our PIA partner, our partnership intermediary, our partnership intermediary, I guess is what we call it. Nobody else has brought that up yet, but is with UCF Research Foundation. And with that, we have all of our 4 services. So when you come to the Central Florida Tech Bridge, you can come and talk to us about modeling, simulation, training, human performance. And we also have the 4 services and a reach into UCF Research Foundation.
Fantastic. Thank you, Diana. And as we introduce Steve and Bordonaro, if I said that right.
Steve Bordonaro.
Yeah,
Yep.
Steve, we actually just had a question. Anybody from Rhode Island?
Oh,
So
yeah.
it looks like you're up.
More than one person from Rhode Island.
Well, we're-
also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay.
But Steve,
Small state, big population.
Yep.
So yeah, Steve Bordonaro, the director of NavalX Tech Bridge.
Hang on, Steve. We had a dog fight. So, Gabby, just open the door.
Who let the dogs out?
This is how we operate here at NavalX.
I didn't do it. I was
Um,
also nervous about that knock on the door.
Lindy's down there. She'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're
All
dog friendly and dog fighting.
Yes. Steve, you're up. Rhode Island.
So Steve Bordonaro, Northeast Tech Bridge. Capital is here in Rhode Island. I work at the Naval Undersea Warfare Center in Newport. We're focusing on composites, marine materials, textiles, as well as anything undersea, both undersea sensors, undersea vehicles, etc. And I'm actually here just finished up visiting a company, Navatech in Rhode Island, which is a great local company, and they happen to be located right next to Whalers Brewery,
Oh, well
which is
done.
a great place.
Awesome.
And a rock climbing place.
I tried really hard to get them to go live, Navatech go live to say how tech bridges are helping them from the brewery, but they chickened out.
Ah.
Way to call them out,
Navatech.
Steve.
Well, if you need them to call me, I'll help them go live next time.
Sounds good.
I was going to say hi to Troy, but he ducked out again.
Yeah. Well,
We got-
he's in California.
Oh.
He's far enough south. Hopefully he's away
That's
from
true. Troy, you there? We can't hear him, but we see it. He looks beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah, he's great.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got
Hear
you.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
outside, so I'm having difficulty hearing you all.
Oh,
Well, Troy, tell us what Tech Bridge you represent, who you are.
All right. So I'm Troy Clark with the Inland Empire Tech Bridge here in Southern California, very smoky California right now. Work for Naval Surface Warfare Center Corona. And our Inland Empire Tech Bridge is focused, NSWC Corona, we're a leader in the Navy's data analytics space. So one of the things we're focusing on is data analytics and visualization for the Tech Bridge. And then we're also manage the Navy's continuous training environment and the LVC training environment. And so that's a massive network. So we're going to focus on networked environments. And then we're also the Navy and Marine Corps' measurement science and calibration agent. So the Tech Bridge is going to focus on measurement technology for emerging high energy weapon systems, so amongst other things. But it's great to be a part of the Tech Bridge network and family, and on our anniversary week. Great
close
to be with
enough.
you.
Yep.
Yeah, we're there. Fantastic. Thanks, Troy. And before I let you all kind of just go, because you will, I just want to say thanks for everyone that's joining. I see you, Francis, Benito. What's going on? Ann Fields. You still haven't joined us, Ann.
Hey,
Come
what's
on.
going on?
Yeah.
You're one of the directors, too.
We got a shout out from Captain Hill.
Yeah,
See-
Captain Hill.
Yep.
Down
He's-
there with Diane.
He's
Hey,
awesome.
Diane.
Alan Jaeger also checked
Yeah,
in.
Alan just joined us.
Alan
Alan.
Yeager.
There's
Oh.
that
Hey,
handsome
guy.
guy
All right.
hopping in.
Alan Yeager, why don't you introduce yourself? What Tech Bridge you represent, who you are?
Hey, yeah, good afternoon, everyone, or evening. Alan Yeager with the Ventura Tech Bridge out here in Ventura County, California, just north of Los Angeles, and representing Naval Surface Warfare Center Port Hueneme Division with our partners NavalX Exwick and Nav Air Weapons Division out at Point Magoo.
Fantastic. Thank you, Alan. Super excited. And I know you guys have, I want to put you on the spot. Don't you have a big event next week?
We do, yeah, thanks. We have our Antex, Advanced Naval Technology Exercise event, Coastal Trident. It's our 14th year, so we've wrapped up, we'll be wrapping up Monday, some of our last at-sea experiments, and then next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to try doing a virtual tech expo, so encourage anyone that's interested to join us. We'll have our technical director, our deputy technical director, our chief technology officer. We have some folks from local universities, and then a lot of different companies that have participated and done experimentation this year will be sharing what they're doing, what they learned, and where they see that tech going. So it should be fun.
Fantastic. Thank you, Alan. Also, before we get too crazy, shout outs to Mike, Bennett, Tim. Thanks for Tim Hill. We already got you. You got 2 shout outs, sir.
Commanding officers get
We
two.
got
I guess so. Jen Franco.
Jen Franco. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a new team member.
New
coming on, so-
rotational to NavalX.
Chilean, you've said hi a few times. Very, very smoky SoCal. We've got Steven from Arizona. Steven, I think I say your name with Og. I can't remember how to say it, but Steven actually joins every live event we have. So I think we might need to like send him a coaster or
Yeah,
something.
nice.
Yeah, I
Super
like that
user.
idea.
Super fan. So why don't we start going here? What is Whitney? I'm going to let you drive the conversation.
Yeah, I
as
was
the
just
Tech
going to
Bridge
say,
director.
I'm kind of excited right now to have most of our teammates. We haven't been able to spend a lot of time together in a while. Every time I have meetings, I'm like, all right, let's get this done. Let's get this done. We don't really get to hang out. So let's see. How's it going, guys? Like from your words, like I'm so used to giving briefs on what a tech bridge is, what you're supposed to get out of it. Like, what do you guys think so far? Are you enjoying this? Like, what do you tell people when they come to see you? Why do they come to see you at all? Let's see, Rick.
Ricky there?
I got
If you
to
can
go.
find
Yeah,
it.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. I'll keep going. Don't worry. I'll get other people too.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's going well. I think it's been awesome for us to connect up to a national network. It's certainly given us visibility for events. We just had a event today that we participated in on AR/VR with the University of Maryland. We had 2 speakers, one from PAX, one from Lakehurst. Unfortunately, Orlando wasn't able to join, but maybe next time. So yeah, it's been good. It's allowed us to connect with a lot of different companies that we wouldn't have normally connected with, which is great. I'm constantly getting inquiries from LinkedIn or from email on non-traditional companies that are in the UAV space, cargo UAS in particular. Seems like we're getting a lot of interest in. So it's been great, and hope it as more tools come online, as our industry outreach tool and ServiceNow becomes more refined and robust. I think it'll be even a better connector tool and allow us to be more agile and quickly connect up industry. Yeah, there. Wow, nice.
I got you, Rick. I got you, my man.
Connect industry up with our warfare centers and ecosystems that are represented by a really diverse group of folks on the screen. I mean, when you think about the both the organic Navy technologies and research that they represent, but the really diverse ecosystems and companies around them, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so the Tech Bridge directors all come from different places professionally. So there's Rick Tarr, who's an ORDA, actually, which means, all right, good word for that. Tech transfer, yeah. They're in charge of tech transfer for their commands, their local commands, which means they do things like form partnerships with the universities, basically anything.
Non-FAR.
Yeah, non-FAR based. Thank you. But so if you have a cooperative research and development agreement or a partnership intermediary agreement, which NavalX has, that's why we have this cool space, and a few other things, like he's the guy to go to. And there's Alan, who's also an ORDA, and Michael, who's also an ORDA.
Yeah, we have several ORDAs.
We love ORDAs, by the way. But then we have other backgrounds too. So Steve Bordonaro, do you want to tell us about your background, and then Troy?
Sure. Yeah. So I have very different background from an ORDA. So I worked on the engineering side on acoustics and algorithm development, and they didn't allow me to talk to the outside world. So it's a big change to come into this world.
Yeah. You're coming out of shit there, though, Steve.
So it is. It's different coming from it from my experience base, but on the other hand, I was able to tie into some of the people at the technical level and make sure I can connect companies to the right people that really work in the problem. So I think it's been a good experience.
Awesome. Troy?
Yeah. So I was a former public director of public and congressional affairs for NSWC Corona for about 13 years. Spent about a decade working for Congress and been out in our community for about 25 years. That's where I used to work with Jennifer Franco there. And in college, I was a biochemistry, molecular biology major. So I focused on molecular marine biology.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Just dropping some random knowledge on us. Thanks, Troy.
You're like Iron Man. If one thing fails, you have like 12 other things.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And Troy, we always call you out. You're also quite the musician. If you don't know, you can Google Troy Clark and find some wonderful
swing, jazz, big band.
There you go. So before we talk about some other Tech Bridge directors, we'll pause for a sec and answer some questions. We have a question from our friend, Captain Tim Hill. What up, sir? So I'm going to throw the question on the screen and I'll read it out. Question is, question for those with multiple units sharing the Tech Bridge location. How are you handling funding priority of projects? We're considering a membership model amongst our joint commands and maybe even industry.
I think Diana Teal probably has some thoughts on this, but since Captain Hill asked that, well, actually, let's hear from Bobby and then Diana.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is also the call out to Ann Fields, who's not on with us. Shame on you. Who might be a good one to answer that too. So I would say for Captain Hill, it's something that we're looking at because we have 3 Warfare Center partners. We've got Second Fleet and potentially maybe the Air Force coming in and the Norfolk Naval Shipyard. And so we don't have that problem that you have, which is a good problem that I'm sure Diana will talk about, which is people lined up behind and potentially have a bandwidth issue. Thinking forward, what we're looking at, what we've made the decision in the short term is whoever brings the money first that aligns with what our expertise areas are is what we're going to go first. And then after that first 2 or 3 is probably the point where we'll get to where you're saying. So that's the beauty. What I like about the national network is I don't have to figure it all out myself, is that we can watch, what Diana and they do down in Orlando or what they did up in Crane or a little bit of peace from what they might have done in Northwest, and Johannes, who decided he's too good for us to not be here. And so I think it's something we're still learning. That's a total non-answer, but the starting point is we're going with whoever brings the money and a problem, and then the other threshold we're using is, does it have an actual viable path to cross the valley of death? In other words, is this a program that I can deploy and sustain? Does it have a program of record? Now, not all of the stuff that we envision coming through the Tech Bridge will be that, but for the first ones that we're going to be running through, that is one of the wickets that we said for prioritization. It has to be tied to a program of record that and has a path to it. So, for example, the first one we're going to do has to do with the Maritime Operations Center and the expeditionary aspect of it, which is going to become a program of record. So we're still in some discussions with Fleet Forces Command on exactly what that's going to look like. So again, not quite the answer on the prioritization. We don't have that problem yet, but it's something I'll be looking forward to. So with that, I'll turn it over to Diana to talk about her thoughts on it.
Well, he knows my thoughts on it. We talk about it frequently. So I think it's really back over to y'all. And I think part of it was, his question was about working with industry. So, and certainly, although we, Team Orlando is considered, or not TSD, and the Central Florida Tech Bridge is considered in sustainment because we've got a mature ecosystem. We're just now getting our PS signed, and we're just now, our first collaborative project order is just in process. It hasn't been signed yet. So we're kind of, on the newbie side for the PS and things like that. So I think Crane or Rick, you probably have some ideas about how big industry can participate with us. Over. No?
Rick, anything?
Oh yeah, just give him a minute to get his microphone on.
Every time.
Really good at OTAs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me toss that.
And go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead, Rick.
It's this fancy microphone with the mute button on the front of it, so I forget. I just start talking or hit the other mute. But anyway, great question, and I think we're trying to figure that part out. On the government side, it's probably easier. The membership model or sort of pay-to-play model with accessing the Tech Bridge and with our partnership intermediaries and the skills and services they bring, tech scouting, assisting with prize challenges, going out and invading the non-traditional places where our tech lives, the Valley, Austin, Boston, those places. But I think on the industry side, it's a little more complicated. So one of the things with partnership intermediaries, they're like a trusted agent that's helping you survey the landscape. So in order to have that neutrality and for them to be working on the behalf of the government as a nonprofit, I think it gets tough when you start adding in industry membership models. Really, I think some of the really compelling models are when it's connected to other activities, other entrepreneurial activities, whether that's STEM outreach or community maker spaces or other membership-based organizations. Might be a better way of trying to bolt it on. Certainly, we've experienced challenges with organizational conflicts of interest and really making sure that when our partnership intermediaries and the tech bridges come up with solutions that that everyone's had a fair chance to play, that this is a very transparent and fair kind of way of engaging companies.
So let me add one more piece to that also, if you would, please. We also, in addition to our PIAs, we're also partnering or tying in with our other transaction authority that we have here at our lab also, and they have a consortium model. So we are trying to go to school on with that group also and how they work those similar type of problems. So as Rick and Diana say, there's a number of analogs that we can work with to go to school, if you will, on some of those problems that you've mentioned in that question. And we're going to probably stumble in some new ones ourselves. So, and that's the reason for the whole Tech Bridge, is to push the boundary of those collaboration activities, those innovation ecosystems, and see how we can make these things work, especially with the non-traditionals and the universities, the state players. We're tying in with a manufacturer extension program within the state. So it's quite a group of folks that have not traditionally worked together, and then trying to figure out how we manage intellectual property, both a priori and honor that, but then also at the back end, those that have skin in the game, to make sure that they get some access to that IP so they get a return on their investment. So it's
and I think Michael brings up a great point too, of that when you think about the tech bridges, it's just not one PIA or one warfare center. It's really a coalition behind it. So OTA consortium is a great example. We're leveraging our OTA consortiums and our partnership intermediaries to really do the outreach and to get. And at the end of the day, I think you hit it. It's getting fielding novel, provocative technologies to the warfighter faster. So
fantastic, thank you. Well, before someone else jumps in, because you all want to,
I was ready.
Maybe you gonna add something?
No, actually, they got the MEPs in.
They got it.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
I wanted to make sure we didn't miss that.
Yes,
It's a great example of how we get these state and federal organizations to work together. I have to say, one comment from the start of this is that when Rick was talking about what's happening down in his world, it's like everything he described was like, oh my God, it's the tech bridge is working. That's all I noticed. That was kind of, the vision is becoming brighter.
That's a great segue, Rich, because we actually have a question directly to Rick. So Rick, this is from Mike Pacoda, and it says, "Hey Rick Tarr, who is the we besides yourself make up the local PAX Tech Bridge?"
Yeah, great question. So we have several partnership intermediaries that are helping us pull it off. So the Patuxent Partnership is one of our regional partnership intermediaries. Georgia Tech Research Institute is the other one. And then our consortium, the Naval Aviation Systems Consortium, are external organizations that are helping us execute the tech bridge. And then, of course, we have the team at NOC AD in the tech transfer and our CTO, our CTSO, Chief Technology and Strategic Operations Office, that are on the back end helping to go. So a lot of this stuff is stuff that we were already doing as a warfare center, but maybe didn't have the same lens, or certainly wasn't connected up to a national network, connected up with the folks up at Newport and Keyport and Bobby down at Norfolk Hampton Roads. So
fantastic, thank you, Rick. As I go through some questions here, I am going to have to moderate you all, and I don't think we can have everyone answer every question, because then we won't get through. We're actually getting quite a bit. It's not moderating in a bad way, Whitney.
Well,
I know it's a great conversation, but we got a lot of questions coming in.
All right, fine.
We got to make sure we get some people. That's what we're here for, the
I
people.
have questions too.
Well,
you're a person. You can ask them.
Well, here, I'm going to ask one more person question, then I'll come back to Whitney.
Thank you.
So I've got one from Harold C. "We are a startup company seeking interest and support for continuing our R&D on several patented advanced technologies. Anyone care to offer opinions?" So before anyone else jumps in, because they all want to jump in at once, obviously, I will add, Harold, if you are not aware already, we do have the handy new NavalX connector tool that is a great way for you to submit your company's information. And what you do when you hit the link that's on the screen right now is the Tech Bridge directors all have access to that. So then they can take that information and help you maybe target the right person at what you're trying to do. I'm guessing based on some of the reactions, your question may not have given us enough information. So that is a great way to help getting connected with us. You can also connect with Agility at Navy.mil. And I think we can have someone reach out and connect with you more and take that a little bit deeper and hopefully help you with what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's a slick trick there with the
it's
right there.
I think the biggest thing is that the Navy and Marine Corps is a massive organization. So our goal is to connect you with the right offices. We are not going to be that final connection. Like we are just that doorway. And sometimes sometimes it's very, very clear, right? They say that they're a big data analytics company. We say, okay, you want to go down to Palmetto and you want to talk with those folks, or they
Troy.
say, or Troy, right? Yeah,
or Diana,
right? Or they say they're
Depends.
they're a an AI company, and we say, well, that's not enough information. We need to have a sit down. We have to have a discussion, see what your specific niche is that you're looking to get into, and then we can help you find those pathways to come in. So sometimes it takes a little bit more unraveling of what exactly you're looking for.
Definitely. When I think you hit it on the head, a lot of people have said about NavalX is we are not the ones that are going to do. We are not purchasing. We are not buying. And so you can sweet talk us all you want, but we really can't do much.
We love it.
But connect.
I'll take all of it.
So Whitney, I think you want to ask some questions.
So many. I'll like limit myself to 2 or 3.
Okay, let's try with one first.
All right, fine. All right. So first one is actually pretty simple. It's a hand raise for people on the line. Like, did you know what you were getting into when you became a Tech Bridge Director? There
No,
we go.
I see a lot of shaking
Bobby,
heads.
nice. Kinda knew.
Yeah.
All right.
If anybody should have known,
Yeah, it
it
was
would
Bobby.
be Bobby because he was.
At
he
least
was
they gave that half hand right.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right.
I
because
kinda-
he was part of the development of this before it was even a thing.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
it took
Yeah.
a while. So by the time Bobby became one, I think but everybody else.
Yeah.
I think those of us who were ortas probably had a pretty good idea
Yeah.
what we're getting into, but there are
That's why Rick didn't want to do it.
there are other aspects. Yes, Rick was so reluctant. You kidding? But there are other aspects to it that it's a kind of brute force of ignorance. Kind of get your head down and plow through some of this. We're trying new things, new contract mechanisms. So that means we have to get finance, legal, contracts in our respective organizations on board, and sometimes they're a little reluctant to get involved because it's new. And so that's part of the challenge, is to convince folks to get on board. And that's been probably the more time-consuming activity is the educational process.
Yeah, so my comment on that would just be like, for those of you who have reached out once and maybe didn't get the right response or get the connection you wanted, these are people who didn't necessarily know what they were getting into, and they're overwhelmed, but they're doing a great job and they're getting more organized every day. So now is a better time than it was. So if you reached out like 6 months ago or something and you tried to get a connection or find a program office or something, maybe wasn't the right time, but we're getting a lot stronger. So if we did screw up, feel free to reach out again to agility@navy.mil because we're getting in a lot better of a position.
I think one thing I get out of that too, because I get people ask me, "Hey, how can I get this program research done at the Tech Bridge and blah blah blah?" And I'm going to first of all, that's not necessarily the intent, but also this is a new learning activity. So the platform you just mentioned, how long has that been up?
4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to work up to those tools and everything. And
Yeah,
I'll tell you, that's an important tool. I've been around for 20 plus years.
20 plus years is what he said.
Yeah, that's when I was born.
Faded out,
20 plus years ago. Right?
All right. Yeah, plus emphasis on plus.
Happy 20th birthday.
And we always have these things like, submit your best ideas. It'll go to this panel review. This and this.
Yeah.
That exchange of ideas. And so that's what I think that's the whole point of this Tech Bridge. And so the things that the platforms are being stood up, they need a little time to mature and kind of cook, and they'll get better and better over time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Whitney, you got another question?
I totally forgot it, but I'll come up with a new one, which is great. So moving forward, guys, what are you most excited about, working on as a team? Or like where's the big opportunity? I have my ideas, but I like to hear everybody else's.
So I want to say something to answer that one, and a little bit about the other one. One of the greatest things about being a part of the Tech Bridge, and no, I didn't know what I was signing up for, but is the community of the Tech Bridge. So in Team Orlando, we had the idea of having a collaborative space where we could do some outreach with industry before we even knew about NavalX and the Tech Bridges. And then this came along and we said yes, thinking that we knew things because we're in sustainment. And then we figured out that we really don't know a lot of things that we're learning from all of y'all. So every time when I've been moving forward with this PIA and the CPOs and things like that, and I hit a wall, I have somebody to reach out to within the Navy that's been able to help me. So that's been a wonderful resource for us.
Agreed.
So to let you know, that's what I'm really excited about, Whitney, is the fact that we have this resource of Tech Bridge directors that are going in a similar path, but not the same path.
Yeah.
Nice.
That actually just reminded me of what my question was supposed to be. It was like, as you go forward, like we've got experts. So Rick Tarr, our Southern Maryland Tech Bridge Director, he is an expert at partnership intermediary agreements and other transactional authorities involving like things like prize challenges. We have Steve, who set up a broad agency announcement for NIMIC Newport. we just have a lot of resources and a lot of people who have a lot of smarts. So like we're actually working as a team to get better at connecting as well as working better with industry. But the thing I was going to say,
I heard a comment, not a question. That wasn't a question. That was a comment.
You gave me the mic. What do you expect?
I can turn you off.
No.
You don't
All right. So no, what I was going to say is also something about, so Bobby here and then Brandon, who isn't here. And at some point, it doesn't have to be next, but I will talk about the people who can't be on here as well. But we have 2 members of the fleet on our team as Tech Bridge directors. So Bobby and Brandon Newell, who's over this at SoCal as the San Diego rep. He's actually a Marine, and he works with NIMPAC, or the Naval Information Warfare Center over in San Diego, as well as other agencies, and partners with the community, with academics and industry partners and stuff. But we have just a pretty diverse team, even on our team. And I think that's just something worth mentioning. Bobby, how is it being a fleet member on our crazy team?
So it's interesting. I did did I know what I was getting into as a Tech Bridge director? And the primary reason for that, and it's one of the reasons Mid-Atlantic Tech Bridge was not with those first 5, was how difficult it has been to get the operational side of the Navy lined up with what we're trying to do, which, largely this is kind of the acquisition science and technology research and development side of the Navy. And the two kind of operate separately. And it was one of the things, Chubbs, Whitney, and I, we talked a lot about it. How do we, Frank and a bunch of others, how do we connect the actual operational side that is doing it with who's trying to solve it? And that's one of the reasons, we tried to get me here to Second Fleet, which we did. So that has been, and it continues to be, one of the bigger challenges, but also I think is going to be probably one of the biggest resources as we figure it out. So it's just been, Diana captured it well. You think you know everything, and then you realize it's just actually how much you don't know. It's an advantage for me, though, as a uniformed member, just like Brandon, because I can easily go into some of the operational side stuff and others where somebody at a warfare center may not have that easy access. So I can do it for some of the other tech bridges, or I can do it for us. So that's the advantage. And we've just, over the next 3 to 6 months, are trying to figure out how do we line that up? How do we get, for example, key operational problems for the Navy? That's the Navy looking 5 and 10 years out. Like, what kind of things do we need to get after and start building and being able to address? And what are the specific needs? Well, I have access to those, and we're trying to get them into one place. I'm at N7, Nut Van Buskirk, who works with us up there, of trying to, he's done a lot with the NavalX team. How do we get it so we have it visible? Because that's the biggest thing industry tells us is, I would love to come solve your problem, but I just don't know what the Navy's problems are, what you're trying to do. And, Orlando has some good things, and other ones have these engagements, but how do we make it where you don't have to have a relationship with every individual organization in the Navy? And if maybe you just develop that relationship with, say, Orlando or Mid-Atlantic or SoCal, and then you get visibility and access to all the others. And but right now, we don't really have a shortage of industry coming to us. We have a shortage of the Department of Navy people kind of coming in and saying, hey, this is how we get all our stuff in one spot. But my viewpoint as a uniform guy.
Thank you, Bobby. And I feel like me and Whitney are going to fight because she wants to keep going.
Go ahead.
You can keep going in a second.
That's okay.
But we are live. And so, if you guys just want to have a chat where you chat, you can do that anytime you want. Right. We are here for the people.
We can.
For the people.
We are here for the people. So we're going to go about probably 15, 20 minutes more. So it is another chance for, if you are watching this, please submit your questions, comments. If we don't bring it up on here, the team still has access to it, so they can get back to you. You will not be missed, even if we don't bring it up right now. So please keep those questions, comments coming. And to that, Whitney, you kind of want to mention there are some, we highlighted who is here, what tech bridges are missing, and what are they called?
And I'll add also, there was a question earlier about are there more tech bridges to come? So as you introduce those people, maybe talk about your plans for the future.
Oh, well, yes.
Thank you, Chubbs. I missed that.
Another chance for me to talk, I accept. So we've got Chris Manuel, who is the Tech Bridge Director for the Central Coast Tech Bridge. He's at the Naval Postgraduate School, which is another side. So I was talking about the fleet, but we also have naval students. So members of the fleet who are going further in their education, and that's a pretty amazing resource to have on our team as well. Great partners, and he can't make it, but he's doing great things. We also have Brandon Newell, who I was mentioning before at SoCal. He has been kind of killing it in terms of getting projects up and going. I think we're all like, oh, come on, Brandon, you're making some people look bad. Like
That would
5G.
That would be Marine
What did
Lieutenant Colonel, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we got to highlight the Marine on the Tech Bridge Director. Come on.
Obviously.
Gotta represent the
Oh,
Marines.
obviously. Yeah. So
Well,
he's.
you didn't, so I got it. Don't worry.
Thank you, Marine. He's crushing it. So he just got the first 5G small cell installed at the Marine Corps base in Miramar or in San Diego. So that's pretty cool. And he's working on getting more cool tech over there. We also have, Krista, who should have been on here. We did a cool event here today. She signed a partnership intermediary agreement. Well, her commanding officer did, and he was great. But she was here representing the Tech Bridge and kind of building those partnerships with the ecosystem, which was great.
The Capital Tech Bridge
That
represents both, Maryland, the district, and Virginia. So a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah, and Ann Fields, I don't know why you're not on here.
I think she couldn't take the heckling, so she took off.
Well,
I think she actually put a LinkedIn user comment too.
She did.
She's out there listening.
So Ann's I was gonna say, all right, she's great. And she's over at the Midwest Tech Bridge that is over in Crane, Indiana, and they have a lot of cool stuff going on, primarily with autonomous vehicles, and they have a really cool town that they set up to test things. If you haven't heard of, what is it, Muscatatuck?
Yeah, nice. Good
Look
pronunciation. Yeah.
Thank you. I practice it.
It's a National Guard base, in Indiana. It's really cool capability, and some people talked earlier about the ability to test new and emerging technologies, and that's one where it's an enclosed network. They've got 3G, 4G, soon to have 5G there. They have a silo so that you can test drones above the normal 300-foot cap, and so it goes up to 60,000 feet or so. I don't know if it's really 60,000 feet, but it's way up there. And so
a lot.
And then they've got SCADA systems, a whole bunch of different capabilities that you can come and test your wares there before you let them out into the wild. So it's a lot of kind of in-kind work that we can do with startups, and it's really exciting capability.
Yep. And then Johannes is, I think, the only Tech Bridge Director I haven't mentioned who isn't here. He is the Northwest Tech Bridge Director based in Keyport, Washington. And one of the things that he has done very well is network with other local commands, especially the shipyards over there. And actually Steve McKee, who isn't really a Tech Bridge Director per se, but he's actually working with Johannes a lot. So they've been bringing to light a lot of the challenges we have at our maintenance facilities and putting those into things like SBIR topics. So we've been able to really make those connections really fast. When there's a huge challenge that we have, we just put them to industry through that. So we've helped him out a lot. And he's been doing a great job connecting with his MEP, Manufacturing Extension Partnership, and other groups to really build up that network in Keyport. And the commanding officer and TD over there are doing a great job too. Captain Moretti is like crushing it. So
fantastic. So Whitney, now I'm going to ask you a question that Chubbs asked. I want to reiterate it.
All right.
What are your plans for the future of Tech Bridges?
More.
Just everywhere.
More everything. No, I've thought about this so much. Thank you, Rick. I've thought about this a lot. I'm actually working on our annual report. If anyone's watching this and knows I haven't been working on it, but I plan to work on it. It's been a little busy. But the key thing, so more partnerships. We actually signed, I think, 11 partnership intermediary agreements this year. I think we got over $50 million in Tech Bridge funding this year to projects, including that giant 30 million plus SBIR effort. And we have, a bunch of different roles. I think 15 roles have been dedicated. So granted, you guys may have already been doing this. However, I'm going to take credit. 15 jobs created to really inside of the Department of the Navy to partner with industry and academia and each other, which is pretty cool if you think about it, which I do. But also just in terms of efforts, I'm really hoping that we do partner better with other program offices and help people recognize that the power of the network is better than going at it alone. So my job partially is thinking about ways we can scale And I say that, I'm sure the team shudders a little bit. I'm always kind of wonky with my ideas, and they're like, "Do I have to go along with this one?" But no. So the artificial intelligence challenge is a good example. So we're trying to do more broad scoped projects where we bring in other players so we can expose them to us, and we can get a hold of some of those gap areas that really can't be solved alone, like artificial intelligence integrated into our fleet. Yeah, that's not something you really do by yourself, especially since those problems are so expansive. So we're trying to get more of those like tough gap areas tackled by our whole tech bridge network. And one thing that wasn't mentioned, well, it was mentioned, but not explicitly, like when you come to one of us, you get all of us. So like, I mean, I don't know why people don't want to work with us more, but no, that's this year. And my goal is to help show the value of working with us and help demonstrate all the awesome work that people here and people who can't be here right now have been doing so that we can build these networks up to a place where they can sustain themselves.
Definitely. So we're going to turn back to the power to the people.
All right.
Oh, I just lost my question. Where was it? Here we go.
Oh no, I guess I'll have to ask another one.
Right there,
too late.
Brian's question.
So from Brian Farron, forgive me, Brian. Any way just to do IP patenting on submittal to avoid the drudgery for small research businesses to see if concepts are plausible?
Yes. Mike and Rick.
Yeah.
Pick one. Whoever's faster to the mic.
No, it's Michael Merriken.
Yeah, probably.
Hey.
Good job, Rick.
Somebody
I can hear you.
Or Alan. Alan too. Is Alan still there?
No, he had to drop.
All right. Bye, Alan.
Yeah.
Someone please talk.
Michael, you want to talk about
Can you put up
Yeah, it's about IP.
It is a detailed question.
Yeah. Can you see it on the screen?
Any way to do IP patenting on submittal? It's not clear what submittal of what.
So like patents?
Well, I think he's saying, is there a way to do IP patenting on submittal of projects to the Navy?
Are you talking about I think he's talking about CRADAs maybe?
Well, Brian, if you're still there, feel free to comment and give us a little more detail.
Yeah, confused.
If you're not, we can get in touch more later. Does anyone have anything they want to answer this now, or is this a later?
I think just saying that. Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
I'm trying to picture myself from the small business side, because that's where I once was years ago, coming at this thing. The tech bridges are going to be presenting problem sets to industry, to our industry partners, small and large, or academic partners. And so if you have a small business has a technology or an idea that would potentially help us solve or partially solve the problem that we're pursuing, as Bobby was talking about, these different fleet problems, but we're also looking for problem sets that have industry application also. So it's kind of dual use. They're not just Navy problems. They are problem sets that benefit the Navy, but also benefit industry at large also. So if a company or business has a technology that they think, and again, that goes back to what Whitney was saying, that you get all of us. So look at all the different projects that are going across all the different tech bridges and see where your technology might fit, and then make that introduction. We have the NavalX website has an outreach for specific tech bridges, so you can reach out to any one of us specifically and say, hey, I've got an idea that I think fits the need that you've identified that you're pursuing, and then we can then manage that IP, and we won't be patenting it for you. I mean, but we will honor that intellectual property and be and incorporate that into the technology or into the solution set, and then so you get a return on your investment in that you get to be part of that process. But it's not something that we're going to be pursuing. It's not us pursuing technology so much as us presenting problem sets and asking for industry and academia to work with us to help solve those problems.
I just realized not everybody might know that the government has a lot of rules, and if you show us your IP, we're not allowed to use it unless we have a contract with you. So just FYI, you can show us stuff and we can't give it away or anything. So for anyone who doesn't know or has never even thought about doing business with us, if you have an idea and you think it's applicable, feel free to reach out. We're not going to steal it. We're not going to do things. What?
Yeah, we're under Title 18, so we are there to protect that. But like I said, when I meant honor that, I meant there are whether it's a CRADA, whether it's a PIA, whether it's any of these other tools, they all have components in there that come right out and say we're going to protect the intellectual property. There are mechanisms that would protect it, so we don't, get company A doesn't share it with company B, C, and D. We honor that technology.
Definitely. Thank you, Michael. We've got another question here from Carol Ann Dykslog.
Yeah, we know Carol Ann.
Oh.
She's down in Orlando. She's a good close friend of Team Orlando down there and been involved with us from the start. So great question, Carol Ann. Is are we working collaboratively with other agency innovation initiatives? And 100%, yeah, that's been a big part of that. Is here at NavalX at our headquarters, we do a monthly event where we bring in a bunch of government innovation offices. It actually started out just being the Department of Defense and the intelligence community, but it's expanded, and we actually have a bunch of different federal agencies that come in here. And then all the tech bridges, some of them have more local contacts to those groups, but NGA has a fantastic long-running innovation office. NASA, most people are familiar, has really kind of explored OTAs for a lot longer than the Department of Defense has. And so, yeah, that's actually been a great way for us to expand our network and to help the tech bridges get some of their efforts off the ground. In fact, just this last summer, we here at NavalX were struggling to bring in some interns. And we had these restrictions, and we weren't quite sure how we were able to do that as a government agency. And we actually leveraged the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and one of our innovation partners there. She said, hey, we've had interns for 5 years, and if you can get interns into the intelligence community, you certainly should be able to bring them into our very public, open space here. So that's been a great way to kind of accelerate some of our efforts.
Fantastic. Thank you, Chubbs. We've also got another question here from Jeff Cohen. Can you talk a bit about the consortia like IWRP?
Yeah. So Michael Merriken, since I know you work very closely with IWRP, you want to talk about the consortium model? And I think a couple other people work with some OTA consortiums quite regularly, like Steve Bordonaro and others.
Each consortium is set up a little bit differently. It's not a one size fits all. So there's not a specific consortium model that we all follow. It's their component. Like an OTA is basically anything you want it to be. We just have to kind of eat your own dog food when you set up your environment. As far as the IWRP, it's set up for information warfare. We're in our second year, actually third year of our program. We've blew right through our ceiling. First year, we just got a increase the scope of our ceiling for our program here. We have
quite a bit, right? I think it went from 100 million to 500 million. So it's now the service maximum.
Yeah, it was quite a jump. Nice. And we're probably going to hit that pretty quick. There's a lot of interest in what we're doing. And again, like I think Rick mentioned earlier that it's not just NavalX Atlantic being the only source of funds. We're bringing in funds from a variety of other naval offices around the country that want to use our consortium. So it's not just NavalX Atlantic. If there's something that fits within the scope of our OTA, you certainly can work with us and bring that idea to our consortium members, and then we can work through that and help solve your problem.
Fantastic. Did you say Steve had comments?
Yeah, I was going to say.
But, also, it's a great time to plug the Navy Agility Summit. We have a whole day dedicated to OTAs. So the IWARP folks, the NASA folks, Maryland, the consortium up at Newport are all going to brief what the technology focus areas are and how you act. Navy and DoD folks, right? Am I correct?
So the Agility Summit is just going to be government folks for that, but we are going to be putting out some information right after it that will have a lot of it. So if you are government and you're going to be part of the Agility Summit, there's a whole day where you can learn about how these OTAs work for the larger audience. Not everybody can be a part of that. We will be putting out some of that information right after.
And that's the registrations on the website to
Yeah, you can register on the website. There's links on our LinkedIn's, Facebooks. I will echo what Chubb said again. This event is targeted for government and military. There will be more information coming later. But thank you for that, Rick. Do you have anything to add to that question?
So one of the things I just want to mention about consortium. So up here in Rhode Island, the Northeast, we have an Undersea Technology Consortium. That's a membership model. But one of the things, and that's been going on for a couple of years, but one of the things we're trying to do with the Tech Bridge is try to help understand what other companies could potentially contribute to the OTAs, but are not members yet. So we're trying to understand other companies' capabilities and understand what's going on in the OTA to start making those connections. So before you join, you have a little bit of an idea that you could be a company that could contribute.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Thank you, Steve. One last question, and I'm going to turn it to Whitney after that because we got a couple minutes left.
Nice.
One last question. Are you sharing with AFWorks?
Sharing what?
No, we don't work with the
hate
Air
them.
Force.
No, I'm just sorry, who's the Air Force?
No, of course we work
yes.
with all of our innovation partners. In fact, the first Seaside Chat, the first event that we had here in the garden in Alexandria was called What Works, WERX. And we were very, very new. I think we were 2 months old at that point. But we really were talking about how we were standing up NavalX, standing on the shoulders of the giants that came ahead of us. SoftWorks, DIU were really both started about 5 years ago. Since then, there's been Army Futures Command and AFWorks, as well as other organizations that we're really closely aligned with, like the JAKE, and then those other federal partners. So yeah, we learned a lot from our good friends at AFWorks. I've got an AFWorks shirt that I wear and a pair of socks. They got cool swag. We don't have that stuff over here yet, but
it'll happen.
Yeah. So yeah, of course we work with AFWorks and we think those guys are great.
And other groups too.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do a lot of Navy and Marine Corps. That's kind of our target as NavalX in general.
Sure.
But we do a lot of the DoD partnerships.
Yep. Joint AI Center is one of those ones. Army Future.
We work with the Army's Firepoint PIA as well out of Huntsville that do aviation rotorcraft stuff. So yeah.
Thanks, Rick. Before I turn it to you, Whitney, a shout out to Andrew Chapashko, who's the ONR Commander Master Chief.
Command Master Chief, yeah, CMC.
There we go.
Nice.
He'd love to help with the fleet connection.
Oh, good.
All right.
There you go.
All right, Master Chief, you're welcome down to the garden anytime.
Master Chief, I'm not sure if you heard the question earlier. People weren't sure what they signed up for, so beware when you offer your volunteerism here. But Whitney, the last couple of minutes, over to you.
All right. Well,
I know you want to keep going, but we got to respect people's time.
No, I know. I was just debating if I should steal it or give the Tech Bridge Directors on the line something to say. I think I'll give you each something to say. So, Mike, Rick, Bobby, Steve, you're the last people on here. Any thoughts for the team and for industry and other government entities? Any final thoughts? We'll start with Bobby because you're always ready.
Yeah, always ready. Not like Semper Paratus or something.
How are you driving?
Coast
He's
Guard.
not driving. That's
not safe.
No, I don't know.
Green screen.
Green screen.
Mobile Tech Bridge.
The exciting part for us is, we talked about a lot of the potential, and for the industry who's listening, I would say, and it was captured well by a few of the comments, we're still new, a year old for the most mature tech bridges as a tech bridge. I meant, or even Orlando and Crane that have been going forever. They still have stuff they're learning. And I think at times people tend to look at some of the more established players and go, well, why aren't you like them? We're rapidly getting there. And so we look forward to figuring it out. We take feedback. You can tell us we're all jacked up. We'll laugh with you. And even if we cry a little bit on the inside. So excited where it's going to go. And for the DON, the Department of the Navy people who are listening, that's where we really need, I think, a lot of help is connecting across the silos to better connect into the tech bridges outside of the individual entity that might be associated with it, that Warfare Center or in my case, Second Fleet. So trying to bring some of the other ones in is where I see kind of another real big growth opportunity. That's all I've got. Thanks.
Thanks, Bobby.
All right, Steve.
Yeah, so one of the things that I found with the Tech Bridge that I wasn't expecting is I knew we do a good job trying to reach out to industry and academia, but I think one of the biggest benefits is connecting with each other. I think it was mentioned a couple times about the Navy being a big place. So now if a company comes in with something that's, not undersea and not in my area, it's very easy for me now to reach out to Diana or to another tech bridge and say, hey, this seems like a company you'd be interested in. And I think that's really powerful, that it helps us do a better job of knowing each other.
Fantastic. Thank you, Steve.
Rick?
Yeah, is it just me, or was everyone expecting Bobby to start singing like it was like perfect karaoke? Something? I don't know.
Taxi
Maybe
cab.
I'm watching
That's a
too
different
much
segment.
What
That's
show
a
is
different
Carpool
segment.
karaoke or something. Yeah, one of the things I'm really excited about is Antexes. We're doubling down in the next year on getting more industry technologies in our Antex events. And it's really a way for industry to come in and demonstrate novel, provocative technologies. And the warfare centers and the program offices have paid the way to create these virtual environments. They've got fleet warfighters here to evaluate technologies, and we're looking for creative ways of bolting on additional projects and technologies to demonstrate during those events. So that's probably the one thing I'm most excited about. Definitely check out our website for more information, impacts.tech as well, for ways to get your company and register your company with that to be in one of those future Antexes. So
Mhm.
I do want to highlight, Rick, as you talked about Antex, I went ahead and threw up the
awesome. Look there.
NavalX website, and on
Yeah.
the industry toolbox there is 2 pages there to the 2 upcoming Antexes. One is the Coastal Trident, which is next week, and the Nice Antex, which is next year. So that information is available on the NavalX website.
Yeah, and if I can just underscore that this is a great opportunity. If you're a startup company looking to get your technology in front of folks that have funding to transition it and field it, these are great opportunities to demonstrate your technology. So yeah, awesome.
Thanks, Rick.
All right, Michael, you're the last director standing.
Last but not least, and Whitney, I
Oh.
want to see some NavalX tube socks for the swag in the future.
Oh, nice.
Tube socks.
Yeah.
Did not expect that one. Okay. All right.
The challenge that we have, I guess, the biggest challenge is building this consortium model and looking at different models out there. And it's probably one of the coolest things that I've found is that there are a bunch of different models that have already been out there and tried. And as I'm going out and talking with larger businesses and how they've like SAIC has got sort of their own tech bridge kind of like thing going on across the country, and so we've tapped into that. But then even the smaller smaller companies, the South Carolina Small Business Incubator Association, I've tied in with that group, and I've been briefing with those folks, and I'm learning a lot from these small incubators around the state of South Carolina. And so I'm learning all these different mechanisms to bring in groups to work together. And that's going to be, I think, the greatest outcome of this thing is we're going to develop these tools that allow companies to come together and collaborate and do it in a trusted way to come up with these novel solutions that any one company in itself could not do by themselves.
Yeah. So if I were to wrap a bow around what you guys said, like I think year 1 was about building that foundation and those relationships so we can actually connect and move faster by with our knowledge base and actually creating a group of people who can share institutional knowledge, still working on like our playbooks and stuff, have some of that knowledge, but also we could figure out some other ways to do that too. But I think this upcoming year, my theme, which I just thought of right now for the year,
Because surprise.
So drum roll, please.
Yeah, deal flow.
You know how NavalX
Deal flow.
Deal
oh
flow.
Man, you've been coming to too many of my private capital meetings.
Yeah, so private capital is one of them. So if we can show that we are going to be a big player in, really like bringing businesses in, like getting more companies, like more startups, more small businesses, and our pre-existing primes as well, but more technology coming in faster and really iterating on projects and products and getting more relationships, I think we can show that We are a better partner than maybe some folks think. Maybe not all wrong, but we're trying to really improve how we do business with people who've never worked with us before. So if we kind of show that value and get more projects going and have more folks who haven't worked with us see the value, and if we can make it worth their while, maybe we can get private investment like Chubbs has been working on. Maybe we can get other government agencies to say, hey, why don't we work with you rather than setting up our own 10 models doing the same sort of variant thing? Why don't we work together a little bit more? So that's my deal flow thing.
Fantastic. Well, with that, Whitney,
nice.
thank you. And thank you to everyone who has kind of joined us today on this. Our continued NavalX live sessions, bringing different people together. I do want to call out one last thing from Benito, who has said, I have emailed the agility email before and got no response. Yes, we admit we were horrible at it.
Yep.
We still aren't great. We're trying different ways. If you have ideas, please send them to me. We're always open to different ideas to make it better. But he also ends it with, I emailed Mike Merriken and got a call back the next day. A wealth of knowledge.
Michael!
So
Nice
congratulations. Great job, Michael, representing well. And thank you for everyone that's joining. Thanks for all the Tech Bridge directors for coming on. And as you all know, you saw the website earlier. I will throw it up one more time. You can contact if you are interested in some of the Tech Bridge directors who spoke, or just in general. Please go to the link that's on the screen. It'll also be in the comments. It's also Google NavalX. It's the first thing that comes up. You can find it there and learn more. So thank you all once again. Thanks for everyone that's still on screen.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
enjoy your weekend and have a good one. Bobby,
Right.
perfect time to say goodbye.
Thank you.
Okay,
All right.
bye, guys.
Thanks.
Goodbye, Bobby.
Thanks, everybody.
Stop driving and videoing.
I did.
Okay.